Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. This is your card reading for today, Friday, April 5th. And one of the things that's happening today is we have Venus entering Aries. And so that's going to be about kind of bringing some new, fresh energy into love. So there will be one of the cards that we're pulling will be the Romance Oracle, but today's reading may end up coming through with a little bit more energy about love and relationships with this transit that's happening here. And also, I will be doing a special reading on Sunday for the eclipse that's coming up on Monday. So that's going to be a really big event. Hopefully, you'll have a chance to be able to safely check that out and view it. But drop a comment down below. Are you going to be watching it in person? Are you going to be streaming it? Or, you'll catch the events of it later. So, all right, let's go ahead and dig into today's reading and see what all messages want to come through for the collective. We have our Nine of Swords in reverse, we have our Strength in reverse, and we have our Knight of Wands. All right, so our Nine of Swords in reverse, doggy here, is about like seeking help, and you're trying to overcome something. There's a sense of burnout and that you just don't really have that strength. Like you kind of feel like maybe you're being manipulated, like you're not really standing in your own power. So you're leaning on someone else for help. Like you're trying to reach out and find other resources to help give you that extra strength, that extra courage. And then we have our Knight of Wands energy. So Knight of Wands, remember, that is going to be that fearless, adventurous, courageous type of energy. So that's, that definitely goes with the feel of Venus moving into Aries. So let's go ahead and jump in then with our fire signs. So that will be our Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Let's see what all is coming through for you for today. All right. We have strength for you in the upright. So you are being pushed to, kind of combat this energy that's coming in, this, I'll call it this like weaker energy of feeling like you just can't carry on, like you're being manipulated, like you can't really see the situation for what it is. So you are being pushed to fight back against that and to sit in your strength, to look for that help, to be able to push past that, to take the next step in life in a more fearless, adventurous type of energy. So, and there were a few things that just flew there, so I'm going to leave those. All right, let's see what Gaia card message we have coming for you. Evolution. Earth changes, climate changes, transformation. So with this is that reminder of if you feel like you've been stuck in a position for too long and you just don't really have the strength to go on with it, know that everything in life is always evolving. So even things that seem permanent, like the earth or whatever the climate is, things change all the time. The only constant in the universe is change. So don't let yourself stay in situations that aren't serving you just because, well, that's what I've always done. And that's what that evolution card is about, is what situations or what people or experiences will take you to that next phase of evolution for you. What will take you to that next level of awakening? Accepting challenges. Trust your inner resources. And this is that matter of not fighting back against the change, like whatever changes are trying to come in. If you've been feeling exhausted by a certain situation, it's because that situation is not in alignment with you. You wouldn't have to fight for it so much if it was in alignment with you. So lay down, kind of like have the strength to lay down that burden and accept what change is coming in and find a way to embrace the change, as opposed to dumping all of your energy into fighting and resisting this change. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. For some of you, you may have been feeling like you were trapped in whatever situation, whether it was a job, since a lot of this reading is going to be about love with Venus entering Aries. It's time to free yourself of whatever is making you feel like you're stuck, feel like you're just exhausted, and that you just aren't in control of your life. This accepting challenges and evolution, like those look like they're taken out of the exact same scene. So accepting the challenge that life is going to change, how do you change with it? And how do you free yourself from these heavy burdens that have been keeping you from that path of being able to feel like life is an adventure. Life is this joyful experience. So that was our message for fire signs. Next we are, oh my gosh, the cards are jumpy today. Next we are on to our earth signs, which is going to be our Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's see what messages want to come through for you for today. Judgment. So the Judgment card is that, I look at it, that's the final exam in your class. Are you going to keep looping through the same lessons over and over? Or have you learned the lesson? Have you acknowledged what the lesson is? And have you learned it and have you integrated it? And in which case, if you have, then you have, divine judgment, favorable judgment will release you from that lesson if you've integrated it and you've learned it. Otherwise, you're going to be looping back through it. Now, for some of you, it's like that this lesson is there and that's what the focus is, that's what you need to do. And so you are feeling like you didn't really have the ability to do that on your own before. And so, you're using, I'll say you're using this sense of burnout, like you're realizing, oh, hey, this is the lesson, this is the final exam. And so you're asking for help, like you're reaching out for help so that how can you move on to this more fearless, I'll call it enjoyable life where you're actually thriving and not just surviving. So that's the message there for our earth signs. Let's take a look at some oracle cards and see what else is coming through for you. Yin Yang, creating harmony through balance. If you're feeling burned out, and which with the strength in reverse, that is that sense of, I don't have enough strength, so you're exhausted. It's because things aren't in balance. Things are not in alignment with your life. So you're energetically, what you need to do is you need to be able to put things back into balance. Having a healthy balance of what is it that I need for me to be happy in life versus what do I think I need to do for other people in order to make their lives happy. Then we have limitation is power. Learn your limitations. And this is kind of that sense of with your limitations, knowing what they are so that you can break free of them, or so that you can adjust your goals and your dreams accordingly. So if I said that I wanted to be an opera singer, I can't sing, let alone be an opera singer. So if I know my limitations, I can say, okay, well, I'm not going to keep putting all this energy into this fantasy about something that's not going to happen. Let me find what my calling is. Like, what am I being drawn to do? And then if I'm, the other part of that is if you feel like, oh, I'm limited, I can't do whatever, like I can't go down this path in my life, then why can't I go down that path? Is there a skill that I need to work on? Is there, whether it's a physical skill, whether it's a mental skill that I need to work on to be able to break free of that? All right. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. And that is that reminder that, in order to sit in that vibration of love, like romantic love, to be able to naturally sit there, you have to be enjoying this moment fully. If you're walking around with this giant chip on your shoulder and life is terrible and this is awful and I hate my job and, I have all these problems at home with family, I have all this and this and this. If you're constantly at that state, you're not at a very high vibration level. So attracting in good, positive, romantic love is very difficult because vibrationally that is not where you're at. So if you're able to sit peacefully and happily in the moment that you're in, you'll be able to attract in experiences and partners along that same line. But that whole expression of misery loves company, if you're miserable all the time, that's not, that's likely not going to be a situation where, some amazing romantic partner just happens to knock on your door. Hi, I felt compelled to come to this house for no real reason and talk to this, grumpy person who's in a terrible mood all the time. So that was our message for our earth signs. Now let's take a look at our water signs and see what wants to come through for you for today. The Tower. So, and actually came through in the reverse first, but with the Tower, there's some massive change that is going on. And this could be related to, the eclipse is coming up and the eclipse on Monday. It's all about putting more focus on major transformational changes in your life. So for some of you, it'll be a matter of thinking back to what was going on in 2017 when the first of these eclipses happened. So if you view that as kind of like the beginning of a lesson, and this is kind of like the end of it, what situations, what growth have you had? What situations have you had? Are you trying to keep something in place that really needs to fall? Since the Tower originally was coming up in the reverse, like you're resisting a positive change, but something big is coming in for our water signs. Sacred Earth Mother, a message of love. And for some of you, it'll be a matter of there's other structures in place in your life that are blocking you from being able to receive that message of love. Whether it's, you have a job where you're working 70 hours a week and you just don't have time, whether you're in I'm not going to say toxic, but whether you're in a relationship that's run its course that you need to move on from so that a stronger message of love can come in, or it could be a different type of love. All right, your cards, your two jumper cards, we have Energy of Love, Behold the World Through the Eyes of Love. So message of love for you. And Concealed Power, Give Birth to the Wonder of Revelation. So what is it deep inside of you that is needing to come out or wanting to come out? What new idea or project are you needing to birth to be able to share that love and light with the world? And, if you're too burned out and feeling too weak because of these other life circumstances, what needs to go in order for you to make room for something better to come along? And better doesn't even necessarily have to be in the same vein. So it's not even saying, oh, this job needs to go so you can get another job, or this relationship needs to go so you can get another relationship. It could be, this big friendship of mine needs to end because it's toxic so that I can go out and then I'll, find a new relationship, but I'm tethered to a toxic best friend or a toxic roommate that is, keeping me from being able to find love or something like that. All right, let's take a look at a romance oracle card for you. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So you might, for our water signs, it looks like there might be a new situation that's either coming in or has recently started, and the Tower is cleaning out some old debris that needs to go in order to let that new situation flourish, or at least see where it's going to go. All right, last but not least, we have our air signs, and that is going to be our Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Let's take a look and see what messages are coming through for you for today. Temperance. So Temperance, also for those of you who are on a twin flame journey, Temperance is the Archangel Michael. card. And so that's that reminder that you are protected, that you are being guided. There's things happening behind the scenes to try to bring you into alignment. And even if you're feeling weak and kind of burned out, reach out for help, but this is that card. Don't let yourself get too high. Don't let yourself get too low, and really just kind of stay the course. Some of it too, as we have Mercury in retrograde right now, that just kind of screws up everybody, like at all different levels. And sometimes it can make you, it can lead you astray energetically. It can kind of start putting lots of extra, I guess, stresses or pressure on you. So don't let yourself get too high. Don't let yourself get too low. Kind of stay the course. Whatever you were thinking before Mercury retrograde started, kind of keep that sort of focus in your mind, and really try to be able to discern what is truly what's happening versus right now this weird energy creating these outbursts or little flare-ups. A hidden gift, sadness, and ending a new beginning. So it looks like there could be some changes coming up as well for our air signs. And even if there is a sense of sadness with these changes, know that sadness about an ending means that some new beginning is about to start. So focus your energy on the new beginning rather than the ending. You do need to, depending on what the ending is, you do need to maybe have some time to reflect and heal and work on that. But make sure that you're also staying focused on whatever the new beginning is that's coming in for you. All right. And we have fine wine. Longing is the portal to wholeness. So this card, I feel like this card has come out a fair amount lately, and it's wine spelled with an H. So it's about complaining. So fine complaining, that longing is the portal to wholeness. And the idea there is that if you have thoughts, like recurring thoughts of longing for this, longing for that, that is your soul's way of saying, that's where you should go. That's what you want. And it will create a portal from the sense of, once you can identify that is what you want and that is what you should be going towards, you can evaluate your other decisions in life based on, does this decision take me closer to that portal or further away from it? And that's a lot of like determining where it is that you want to go in life. What do you want? Things like that. It's so that you can evaluate your other daily decisions against that metric. Does it take me closer to my goal or further away from it? If I had said that my goal was, I want to lose, 10 pounds before the summer, I should be evaluating my decisions of, okay, I could eat, a couple of donuts for breakfast, or I could have a bowl of oatmeal. Which one's going to bring me closer to my goal? I could sit on the couch with a bucket of popcorn and watch a movie, or I could go for a walk, so it's like evaluating all of your decisions based on, if this is my goal, is this taking me closer to my goal or further away from my goal? And not looking at it as a punishment for yourself, like, oh, I can't do this, but saying, this is my goal. This is what I said I wanted. How do I align my life to work towards that? And then your romance card is flirt. Extend your lighthearted energy to others. And so that's kind of like, spreading your light. And this isn't to say, oh, go hit on everybody that you come across, but more, spread that lighthearted type of energy. So, be in that higher vibration energy to be able to bring in that energy towards you instead of, letting yourself sit at the lower vibration. So even though it's like, yeah, don't let yourself get too high or too low, try to let yourself sit in the higher part. So when I'm saying don't let yourself get too high, like don't let yourself build up to the stage of euphoria that then you come crashing down, but try to put yourself consistently in that higher vibration state, and that will become your normal state where you're attracting in those sorts of experiences. So I hope that you found today's message to be helpful, but as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. As I mentioned, I will be doing other readings over the next week, so make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell if you want to be alerted to those. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.